by debunking his stolen election claims, and he accused former United Nations Ambassador Nikki Haley of being disloyal, pronouncing her political career over because she had condemned his behavior on January 6th. He mocked Senator Graham for crawling back to him, quote, maybe a few hours after trying to distance himself following the attack on the Capitol, and he slammed the Republicans who had voted to impeach him, including, quote, stupid Liz Cheney. He took shots at Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell and House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy.
If McConnell and McCarthy fought harder, okay, you could have a Republican president right now. And now they don't have anything.
I could tell Trump was relishing the opportunity to trash his fellow Republicans. He seemed to enjoy it more than going after his real political opponents in the Democratic Party. You know what? He said. I find this stuff so exhilarating and so interesting. You see, Biden could never have this conversation with you. Trump harbored no such resentment, however, for those who had stormed the Capitol on January 6th and threatened his vice president, chanting, "Hang Mike Pence."
During that siege, were you worried about his safety?
No, I thought he was well protected, and I had heard that he was in good shape. Mm-hmm. No, because I had heard he was in very good shape. But no,
you heard those chants. That was terrible. I mean,
he could have. Well, the people were very angry.
They're saying, "Hang Mike
Pence."
Because
it's common sense, John. It's common sense.
I didn't try to debate with Trump in that interview or to argue with him. I was trying to draw out his true thoughts about the destructive end of his presidency, and I couldn't believe what I had just heard. Trump was not only refusing to condemn calls for his own vice president's execution, he was justifying them. I figured these words would surely be the last straw, driving top Republicans to finally disavow the leader of their party once and for all. But when the audio was published, GOP officials greeted the former president's comments with a shrug or ignored them altogether. I was reminded of those "Hang Mike Pence" chants as I walked by the Trump diehards on my way back into Mar-a-Lago. The flags they were waving were like the two enormous Trump 2020 banners that had been draped over the inaugural platform on the west side of the Capitol on January 6th, as the rioters made their way inside. But the atmosphere was entirely different. The people standing outside the resort where Trump would be making his announcement didn't look like a threat to the Republic. They looked like aging hippies hanging outside a Woodstock anniversary concert because they couldn't get tickets to see the show. Once I was inside, the first familiar face I saw was that of Mike Lindell, the mustachioed businessman who peddles pillows and conspiracy theories about voting machines. He was loitering near the television cameras in the back of the room, eager to be interviewed but not generating much interest. His reputation as a loudmouth preceded him. When you try to talk to Lindell about politics, he shouts at you as he does in his MyPillow infomercials, but with less credibility. A few other Trump list celebrities were in attendance. Convicted felon Roger Stone was milling about, as was Sebastian Gorka, who served briefly in the Trump White House and is best known for hawking Relief Factor pills on Fox News. And sitting prominently in the second row was a guy dressed in a suit designed to look like a brick wall. Back in the 2020 campaign, the man had developed a modest social media following by wearing his brick suit to Trump rallies. Now he had a prime seat for the 2024 launch. The list of who wasn't there was much more telling, as nearly every high-profile Trump figure from Trump's White House and previous campaigns decided they had better places to be. Kellyanne Conway was missing in action, as were the other key players in his 2016 campaign, Steve Bannon, Hope Hicks, and Dan Scavino. Trump's Treasury Secretary, Steven Mnuchin, didn't show, and neither did his Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo. In fact, not a single confirmed cabinet secretary from the Trump administration made the trek to Mar-a-Lago. Trump had 4 press secretaries and 4 chiefs of staff over the course of his 4-year presidency, and went 0 for 8 in getting any of them to be there for his big day. This wasn't a coincidence. The people who knew Trump best actively decided